Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have had three of these today, so I'm going to be super hype in this video and super fast. I wanted to dive into a topic that doesn't get really enough attention is age gap friendships. Now, yeah, everyone is all about age gap relationships, and I don't know like why it's such a trend these days, but apparently it is. Good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. But age gap friendships does not get enough attention, and it is so important. I think everyone should have at least one older friend in your life. And by older, I mean multi-generational. For me, I have two friends that are in their 70s and they are just amazing people. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, boomer friends. I'm not friends with any boomers who are completely out of touch with the struggles of the younger generations. I'm friends with the boomers who know what it's like. So those are my boomer friends. I do not associate with the, oh, what do you mean you can't afford a house on one salary people? I don't associate with that. One of them, I'll call her Maggie. She is one of my older friends who I met back in 2022 and actually got introduced to her from my friend who I made that best friend video about. Ironically enough, it's crazy how you can have older friends who are 20 plus years older than you. You will still find stuff in common. It's not that difficult. But also, I'm an older soul and I like old TV shows. I like old music. So maybe that's why. Maybe I'm the exception. I'm not sure if Gen Z can really do that, but maybe there's always old souls in every generation. I'm a millennial, but I feel like I'm about 60. So there's a lot to gain from building connections with people outside of your age group, especially those who are older than you. I'm going to be real. Most of us tend to befriend people close to our own age. I do a lot of the time. I really only have a couple close friends who are around my age. It's easier. School, work, college, you're surrounded by people in a similar stage of life as you. But the downside is it can trap you in sort of an echo chamber. Everyone around you is dealing with the same things at the same time, and no one necessarily has the perspective to help you zoom out. And that's where older friends become invaluable. They've been there. They've made the mistakes you haven't even thought of yet. They've survived things you're afraid of facing. But most people don't actually actively seek out friendships with older generations. It kind of just happens. Like my friendships, I will say from personal experience, they've just happened. I've met them through people I've known. My other friend, I'm going to call her Janet. I met her through my friend Maggie. So I met them through each other. I've gained a lot from my older friends. I have gained perspective. I've gained patience. I've gained insight on things for when I get older. You guys, it's so beneficial for just what to expect when you get that age. It's really cool to talk to somebody who's actually going through it before you do. Like that's a huge leg up to have. Even if things will change over time, which they always do, at least you can have some sort of insight. They bring lived experience to the table. You're not just getting advice from them, they're actually speaking from decades of doing the damn thing. Like they get it. Maggie hasn't even been out of the workforce that long. She actually retired probably 4 years ago, I think 4 years ago or something. So she still gets it because 4 years ago, it wasn't much different than it is right now. But the stories they have to tell, they're not just lessons, they're literally shortcuts to understanding. You are getting a crash course in what it will be like and what it is like leading up to get to that age. They also offer like long-term perspective. When you're in your 20s or 30s, every mistake can feel like the end of the world. Oh my gosh, I broke up with my boyfriend. I'm never going to see the light of day again. Oh my gosh, I got laid off. I've gotten laid off twice. And my older friends were always there for me. They were always there to lend advice. Even if I didn't want advice, they were there to just be there for me. Maggie invited me over all the time. She cooked dinner for me. Like it is so invaluable to have somebody who just gets the struggle and is willing to has the resources and is willing to help you. They'll also remind you that 10 years from now you won't even remember it, and they always say that, especially Maggie. She always says this to me, girl, 10 years from now you're not even going to remember this. Like facts. They help you zoom out and just realize you don't have it figured out right now, and you don't have to have it figured out right now. Another bonus is emotional maturity. Friendships with people your age can sometimes be messy because you're around that same, level of mental maturity with them. But an older friend is usually past all that. They're not trying to one up you. They're not trying to compete with you. They're just there to support you and listen to you and guide you if that's what they want to do too. It's like a calmer, more grounded connection with an older friend. And it's really important that you seek that out because the people who are your age and are in your bracket, they're only going to understand as much as you do. It's like the blind leading the blind. And if you have an older friend, they're going to be able to actually help you put that walking stick down, right? They also have cultural and historical perspective. So older friends have lived through multiple world events, cultural shifts, other trends. And here's the kicker: everyone in each generation thinks that it is the worst time in the world for their generation. But if you have an older friend, they can actually put that in perspective for you. I'm talking with my hands a lot. Sorry, guys, I'm Italian. That's what I do. If you have an older friend, they put that in perspective for you because I haven't lived through world wars yet, and hopefully not. I haven't lived through depressions. I haven't lived through certain times. Yes, my generation has lived through a lot, but so have older generations. And a lot of people in my generation like to say, oh, boomers had it so easy, blah, blah, blah. They had it easy in a certain aspect. Like we have it easy in a certain aspect with technology. We have everything at our fingertips. Boomers didn't have that, but they did have it easier in other ways. Yes. Every generation has it easy in some way, and every generation has it hard in some way. And an older friend can help you realize that and change your perspective and be like, oh, crap, like you guys really did go through some stuff. And, you know, the wealthy boomers and all the ones that my generation and Gen Z likes to just rag on and stuff, including me, there's always a subset of each generation that has privilege, that has luck, that has it good. And there's always the other part of a generation that doesn't. And those are my boomer friends. To be fair, like boomers are still going through it with us. They're just not in the workforce, maybe, or they're just not, you know, dealing with it as directly as we are, but they're still alive and they're still going through it. They have context for how society has changed. They just help you appreciate the moment without losing the bigger picture. And there's a lot of conversations I've had with my older friends that really have changed my perspective on things. The last benefit I want to talk about is they keep you grounded. They remind you of what really matters. Social media, it can make you think you're behind. I fall victim to this. That's why I'm not on social media a lot anymore. It can make you warp your reality, your perspective. But your older friend is the one who's saying, you're doing fine, and this is how I know. I recently talked to my older friend Maggie about my retirement, you know, stuff, my investments, and how I feel so behind, and how I'm just like, you know, I'm never going to get there. And she literally said, you're doing better than I was doing at your age. And she has quite a lot of money in her retirement account. So, you know what? I was just like, okay, I'm not doing so bad. They're kind of like an anchor. When life feels like it's moving too fast, they're kind of like, okay, stop the boat. Let's calm down and talk about this. I need to take some more of my coffee because it's getting watered down. And I don't like that. I actually took most of my ice out and put it in the sink. I always ask them for light ice. They didn't do it this time, but still, like, even with all the ice out, it was like that full. So I'm not mad at it. I also want to talk about what the older friend gained. We're not the only ones who gain things from them. They also gain things from us. So these friendships aren't one-sided. It's not just about us receiving value from them. They benefit just as much as we do. Actually, there's studies that have shown intergenerational connection can reduce loneliness, keep older adults mentally and emotionally sharp, and improve their physical health. And I think that comes from just being invigorated by a younger person. I have a neighbor who he is a 80-something-year-old Italian man. He stays at home all day. He doesn't have a car. I go and chat with him because I know he enjoys it. And we have so much in common. It's crazy. Like about the way we view the world, you know, politics, even though I'm not political, but he's not either. That's the thing. It's crazy. He's like, all of this is a bunch of BS. And I'm like, yes, I agree. And it's just fun. And we're both Italian. So there's that. But you guys have to try to seek out older friends like that because it is just immeasurable the amount of things that you and they can gain from each other. You also can bring them fresh perspective, a sense of purpose, because a lot of times older people lose their purpose. They're not doing anything anymore. They're not working. They're at home. They're just, what do I do with my life? We can help them stay connected to a world that is constantly changing because they are disconnected a lot of the time. And sometimes they just really enjoy being around your vibe. They just really like being around the vibe of young people. And I've gotten that a lot, a lot. I don't really know what to tell you about how to find one because, like I said, mine kind of just fell in my lap. But if you go out and the more people you associate with, the better chance you'll meet an old person. Or, what you could do is volunteer at a retirement home. A lot of those people are so lonely, you guys, and it always gets me. It always kills me. It always makes me laugh. People are like, oh, you're not going to have kids. Who's going to visit you in the home? Who's going to take care of you? Kids aren't a guarantee of that. And more often than not, they don't. There are so many people in these homes with families who never come to visit them, who never come to visit them. So go volunteer at a retirement village or something. And I am almost certain you will meet, at least out of all those people, you'll meet one who you connect with. So I'm going to challenge you, try to reach out to an older person this week or go volunteer at a home, do something to try and forge a connection. I know some of you watching are probably like, why would I befriend an older person? Age gap friendships aren't weird. They're powerful. They make us better. They connect us to something bigger than ourselves. If you are the older friend, keep showing up for your younger friends because they appreciate it just as much as you appreciate them. If you found this video helpful in any way or thought-provoking, drop a comment, give me a thumbs up, or subscribe if you want. Thanks for watching. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to other people, especially in this freaking effed up crazy world. I know it's hard, you guys. I get it, but we gotta try. See you in the next one.